What's going on, everybody? Spring football is officially done with, and now we're going to take a chance to look at what's going on recruiting wise after spring football. Visits will be happening in the month of May and June, and players will continue to come down to Miami to visit Coral Gables. It's going to be a busy, busy time for the coaches. The spring was very, very quick. I talked to Chris Stock the other day from Inside the U. I had a lot of videos that I dropped. One long interview with Chris Stock. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. And then I clipped them up into different clippings and posted them on the channel. By the way, if you're not aware of it yet, officially made an announcement that we are starting Hurricanes Unfiltered, its own channel. The YouTube algorithm is funky, and it's making, for some reason, the Hurricane content isn't pushing because I do women's basketball at the same time, and this is a very heavy women's basketball time. So it seems like the algorithm is pushing the Hurricane content into the toilet or something. I don't know what's going on. I was getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 10,000 views during, December and January, and it's way down. And I figured, you know what, this is the time better than any to get the channel up on its own, separate from Come On Now, the podcast. So do subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, I will be doing collaboration with the main channel so that you are reminded where you come get your Hurricane content. A lot of great channels out there, but I'm one that keeps it completely unfiltered, completely raw and unapologetic because that's just how I am and how I do it. But be sure to subscribe to the actual Hurricanes Unfiltered channel. If you haven't subscribed to Come On Now, the podcast, subscribe to that too. But at Hurricanes Unfiltered is the new channel where all the Hurricane Unfiltered content will be dropped. So subscribe today. I appreciate that. With no further ado, let's hit the intro. Let's go. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showman. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of what we're going to be talking about here today. Again, Miami Hurricanes did a lot of work on the recruiting trail and had players in constantly throughout the entire spring and crushed it. I mean, they really, really crushed it, in my opinion. Everything that's come out of Coral Gables, from what I have heard, has been very, very good to hear. Miami picked up a massive, massive commitment from a top 3 QB in the country, top 15 player in the country. Like, now he's listed as number 2 quarterback in the country. Israel Abrams out of Chicago. He's a strong arm, athletic, 6'4", 200-pound quarterback. On film, the guy looks absolutely exceptional. Never lost a game in high school the last 2 years. Back-to-back state champion. Just an absolute savage. Love the ball he throws. Watching him on film, it's like, yo, this dude can play, man. This young man can ball. And he said something that I thought was really, really funny when he talked about, I dreamt about coming to Miami my entire life growing up. And I'm like, man, you were dreaming about coming to Miami when Miami was really bad. So I love that, actually, So, that was funny. But looking at overall the recruiting situation, there's going to be a big commitment this Saturday, from what I believe it's on Saturday. Myson Johnson Cook is expected to make a decision on Saturday. Crystal Balls have him coming to Miami. I think he makes the decision on Rivals. I believe it's at 12. Don't quote me, but I will be looking out for it when it happens, and we'll definitely give you an update when we find out where he decides to go to school. But right now we're looking at, you got Israel Abrams, who has committed. He is the quarterback for this cycle. At running back, you're looking at Myson Johnson Cook. You're looking at he's 6'2", 235 pounds. He's been down to Coral Gables 3 times in the past 2 months. Other names in the mix: Ty Keys, Tyson Robinson, AJ Tillman, Kelvin Morrison, Elijah Kimball, and Brennan Lacey. But Johnson Cook is their guy. They get that guy. I don't know that they'll be going with too many more guys in the running back position. Wide receiver landed the big one, Nick Lanier, on 305 day last month. Now, Amari Stevens, who has committed to LSU, he is no longer in Miami's plan. They're working on Jaden Upshaw, who's a Texas A&M recruit, a Texas A&M commit. He's a top target for Miami. And also looking at Trey Moore and Osani Gales. There's a couple of out-of-state guys looking at Jackson Coleman and Aubrey Johnson. And a couple of local guys are Julius Jones and Jaden St. Fort. A lot of these guys have been down here during the spring, and a lot of them will be down here in the summer and going into their senior seasons. At tight end, look, tight end remains a position of concern. I mean, I'm not going to BS you. I talked to Chris Stock about, like I said, I talked to Chris Stock. There's a section of the videos that I put up on tight end, and tight end's a problem right now. It's still a problem, and it's the one position that really does concern me. There are issues at tight end. We still don't have a legitimate tight end at this moment. I hope someone steps up, but from my conversations with Chris, we don't have a real tight end yet. I mean, you're still gonna be playing a similar situation. You got Elijah Lofton, and then you got some of the younger guys, but we'll see what happens there. So tight end, already got a commitment from 4-star tight end Demarcus DeMroche out of Cardinal Gibbons. He's a big boy, 6'5", 230 or so. Number 2 tight end Jackson Dollar is working towards it. Notre Dame is a front runner, but Miami has some ground to make up. Miami's in a good spot with Jordan Karhoff, Holden Nimi, Anthony Cartwright is in the mix. We need talent, bro. We need talent. We had Gavin Mueller and Israel Briggs come in this year, but we need more guys in that tight end room. We gotta create some real competition at tight end and guys that can catch the ball and run the ball and block. Like we need a guy that can do all of those things, not just the guy that can catch, not just a guy that can run, not just a guy that can block, but one that can do all of those things. We need to find a few of those guys. Offensive line wise, man, that Mario Cristobal cleans up in the offensive line department, man. You can't argue what he does in the offensive line department. You already got commitments out of Sean Tatum and Tyler Ford. Mark Matthews is a heavy lean to Miami. Then they also looking at Jatori Williams, an top 100 interior lineman. Look, Matthews is a guy from St. Thomas Aquinas, Broward County guy. They say he's considering Texas A&M and LSU. Here's the reality, in my opinion. This is my opinion. This is only because of things that I've heard locally within the community. I live in Broward County. My kid's school feeds St. Thomas, and I'm not sitting here saying I know this to be a fact because I have never talked to the kid. But what I've heard from people from the schools that are going my kid's school, of what's coming out of St. Thomas, because there are relationships with people at my kid's school who go to St. Thomas Aquinas, just that simple, who play on St. Thomas Aquinas' football team. Mark Matthews is coming to Miami. Like, don't crush me if he changes his mind, but I'm telling you right now, according to kids at my kid's school who have siblings on the St. Thomas football team, he is telling everybody he's going to Miami. Now, these are high school kids. Things could change. But that's what I have been told. My son is in 8th grade. He's going to Cardinal Gibbons next year. He has friends in his class who have brothers that play on the St. Thomas football team. Yes. And that is what is being said. So take it for what it's worth. That's life in the recruiting world. He's the number 1 offensive tackle in the country. He's a monster, and we need him. Like, let's cut the crap. We need him. We're also looking at the number 2 player at the position, Bobola. He visited this spring, and there are strong feelings there. Miami's also looking at Joshua Samapel. We've also hosted DJ Dotson, Connor Rutherford. Also, interior-wise, Gus Corsair, Reed Ramsey, and Reese Russell. I have no concerns about Mark Cristobal and offensive line stuff. There's one area of this football team that I will never question this man on is offensive line work. This is his thing. He got one of the best offensive line coaches in America, and his thing is the offensive line, man. So if if he's bringing the guys in, I trust that. Now I may not. I trust him pretty implicitly on recruiting. Like that's the one area with Mark Cristobal and his guys. He's hit home runs, man. I mean, he's hit home runs in the portal. He's hit home runs with freshmen. I mean, Malachi Tony was a home run. Hell, Malachi Tony was a grand slam. I think he's hit another grand slam with Jackson Cantwell. He hit homers, grand slams for CC Malingoa. He hit one with Ruben Bain. I mean, he's brought in some dudes that I mean are program changers. And Malachi Tony to me is the greatest program changer we've had in a quarter century. He is a program changer, and he this is not a guy that was a 5-star recruit. He was a 3-star recruit who was 17 years old and should have been going to high school this past year. So he did what he did, and let's be real, without Malachi Tony, we're not playing for a national championship. Without Malachi Tony, I don't even know what our record. I mean, we're probably we're not in the playoffs. So I trust Mark Cristobal's recruiting, man. I really do, and I think you should too. Like now, you want to question some in-game decision making? I mean, we all been there, and we're gonna probably question it again. But I thought he did a much better job as the season progressed in decision making. So I'm definitely on board with all of his decisions pretty much when it comes to recruiting. Defensive line, they're looking at they got a commitment from Josh Johnson out of Key West. That seemed pretty obvious that he would commit to Miami. They're looking at David Folurunshu and Marquise Evans out of Alabama. 24/7 Houston player Ezekiel Ayangbiel. Chicago player top 24/7 Braden Parks. Also hosted Cassie Curry, Xavier Muhammad, Alifiti Tuhalamaka from out of state. Also talking to Malik Lee, Jamar Thompson, Stevie Bentley. I'm not even trying, folks. I'm sorry. Some of these names are tough, and I'm pretty good with names. Kemaju Yondil. I probably just butchered it. Those are your interior defensive linemen. On the edge, though, man, we're looking at DJ Jacobs, man. He is an Ohio State commitment. He was down here with his family. He was projected to be a Hurricane, decided to go to Ohio State, and the Canes are still working hard to sway him, to flip him, and a lot of people believe that he will flip to Miami at the end, which could also create his brother coming down here next, the year after. So that would be a big get for Miami. He's the top one or two player in the country, depending on the recruiting service. Also looking at Jaden Bryant from LSU. He's LSU bound, so you want to flip one of these guys or both of these guys. Let's get them both. Let's be greedy. This is where we got to start being greedy. Greedy. I want some greed. Also looking at Jabarius Garor. He was an Alabama commit. I saw a post of his today where he says that Miami, it was a post about Miami and Texas A&M, and he says it's false. So who the hell knows with these guys? You know what it is. Some guys that are also looking at reclassification, like 2028 prospect Asher Gito and Jackson Vaughn are potentially going to move up to the 2027 class. So that's interesting right there. At linebacker, this is an area that I think we need a lot of help at. I mean, so we need help at tight end, and I think we need massive help at linebacker. The position this year is very, very thin. It's very, very weak. We have, Mo Toure, if he's healthy, very, very solid guy for us. I love Mo Toure. Let's be real. He's 25 years old now. He's an 8th-year player. He better be dominant because he's a grown-ass man. The other one is Chase Smith. He's probably going to start. Now, at the same time, we don't have anything behind that. And there's no one that's stepping up to be that dude. We don't have any of these, Sean Spence's or, let alone, John Beeson's, let alone a freaking Ray Lewis linebacker, let alone a John Vilma linebacker, Bernard Clark guys from back in the day. We need to find some linebackers. We need some flipping dogs, bro. And that is so important to really, because at the end of the day, your linebackers are where it all starts. And that's one of the areas I think we've been dealing with issues for a minute now. Looking at Caden Henderson out of Tampa. Noah Glover was visited down here. Sean Fox, Jarrell Chandler, Drew Williams got an offer this spring. He's coming this summer for a visit. Marshawn Ivy, Jonathan Mayfield also visited this spring. A flip target, Quentin Cypher, and 24/7 talent, Arasan Randall Jr. of note. Finally, going to cornerback. Well, not finally. Cornerback. We don't have any commitment. We don't even have a formal cornerbacks coach. Yeah, we don't have a cornerbacks coach right now, to be honest. From what it says here, Dante Wright, highest profile guy that we've hosted. He's a 5-star Georgia commit. He'll be back down here in the summer for a visit. Joshua Dobson, another high level prospect, but not really viewed as someone that's coming to Miami. Um, Miami's high on recent Florida flip Amari Fountain and Oregon commit I King Hall. There's another one who's a possible 2028 player about potential reclassification in Amir Sears. So if he decides to reclassify, he would turn into a top target for the Kings as well. Then we move into safety. We do have a commitment from where was it? Did I miss something here? Forget it. Looking at out of state process, Gabriel Osborne Jr., Jaquan Snell. He's a Texas A&M commit. And you had a couple guys that visited. Bode Sparrow, Nebraska commit Troy Pittman the third. And there's other options, including a lot of okay. We do have Jalen Jones already committed. We want to pair someone along with Jalen Jones. Zayden Gamble we're looking at right now, along with Andre Hippolyte. Didn't we get him already? Or we didn't get him yet? He's just projected. He's a projected Miami guy. But Miami does have commitments so far from Sherrod Gordine as well. He's listed as an athlete. So that was the one I was missing. I thought I missed somebody. I'm like, where is he at? So look, that's where we are. The recruiting after the spring. It's going to get hot and heavy in the summer and summer going into the fall. And we'll be just keeping you updated, man, with what's going on in the recruiting world. There's not a lot happening as far as football now because it's all recruiting. So we will do our best. We'll probably get back to our lists of top all-time guys. We'd love to have you check them out. I'm gonna do my best to get some interviews on here, so I can also keep it hyper going on on the channel. But definitely, please subscribe to the new channel. I had honestly, when I decided to jump into Hurricanes Unfiltered and create that in August of last year, August of 2025. Obviously, I did it blindly, not knowing how good we would be or not be. I didn't know. I thought we'd be pretty good. I didn't know how good we would be, but we ended up being pretty damn good, which was wonderful. And I tell you, my channel grew by probably 4,000 subscribers. So I thank you for that. So now I need you guys who did subscribe for Hurricane content. Please come over here and subscribe to the new platform. Get us to that 4,000 subscriber mark that we're already at, so I can also grow this thing because I got to get the algorithm back on my side for Hurricanes content. I'm Miami Hurricane diehard. You don't know who I am. I helped found InsideTheU.com 247 Sports with Chris Stock and David Lake years and years ago, back in 2007. Love the Miami Hurricanes. Always have been. Always have. Always will. Yeah, I'm critical. Yeah, I'm unfiltered. Yeah, I'm unapologetic. And yes, I will criticize them. I'm not going to sit on my ass and say nothing. So, subscribe, follow, like, hype, comment. I appreciate y'all. This is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast, man. Come on, man.